Okay, now we are at the exhibition hall of Santa Barbara Museum of Art. They have a special exhibition on the Chinese painting called The Art for Recluse, Painting, Poetry, and Politics in 17th Century China. This is a very interesting topic. The 10 of the dynasties from Ming to the Qing is the focus, and the political implications in this artwork is as the background for the artists to create those beautiful art, and their ideology is very interesting to study. The most famous artist I like to see in this exhibition is Shitao. Of course, he is considered a person, starting from rejectionist, what they call incorporative, and then become a cooperative. They finally went to the court, I think. But some artists like Xiang Mo here, the first painting we'll see here in this long horizontal strip. I think it's 40 meters long or something like that. 40. This artist, he was born to a family with several generations of collection, antiquarian. His grandfather, Xiang Yuanbian, or Xiang Zijing, is the most important private collector in Chinese history. Other than the court, his collection is considered the best. Actually, many early calligraphy and painting masterpieces are through his hands or with his collector's seal. So if you see his seal on the painting, which means authenticity mark, basically. His grandson, Xiang Mo, had a privilege to access to his collections. I think he was born 6 years after his grandfather passed, so he still, he had some. His father is one of his 6 sons of the grandfather, so he had access to all the other uncle's collection as well. In one of the paintings, he said it was painted before his uncle. One of his uncle was artist, but we are not sure if his father was artist. Some of them are, some not. But he obviously is inherited that blood, and he become very interesting art itself without considering become Mandarin official, even in the Ming Dynasty. After the conquer of China by the Manchus, the Qing Dynasty, he rejected to cooperate and continued to be, outside the bureaucracy. He painted a lot of paintings with the subject of hermit, recluse life of scholars. So let's see what we're going to see here.
So this is 40 meters long.
Yeah, this work is 40 meters long, and he did several, I think, large paintings. I will see, I think, on this subject matter. This says, "Enter the mountain is not avoid the world, but a deep desire to be far from floating fame. Stream and stones so blue-green, mist and evening clouds unleash my emotions. The submerged fish knows not to take the bait. Forest birds have never been startled. Surely I will dream of resolving all dust. Henceforth, no thoughts of an official career." So, he just determined to be a famous hermit. It doesn't mean he rejected that kind of fame.
Just not
he just lived on what he calls plowing the ink field.
Oh, yeah.
The ink, 砚田, we call it inkstone field. He grind the ink. That's the kind of labor work. He's considered same as plowing the field.
Yeah.
He's just plowing the ink field. Ink field.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's trained in both the northern and the southern schools. And according to Dong Qichang, we'll see that commentator later.
Okay.
I think they have Dong Qichang also. He has combined both traditional northern style or the more realistic style, which is emphasized on the method or the skills. Also, the Yuan style, Yuan dynasty style means emphasis on the idea. So,
how is the shading done? Is that like the Gongbi?
Yeah, he's more of a kind of I think it's a sized shrine.
Right.
Yeah, he's
very detailed.
Very detailed. Yeah, and his trees are very famous, especially the pine trees.
Okay.
Yeah. Then.
Or is it watercolor?
The symbolism of red or cinnabar is very political. This is very is most famous painting of him. He did this in the year when the last emperor of the Ming Dynasty, Han himself, committed suicide when the north. The Qing conquerors entered the Forbidden City, and that was the year this painting was done in 1644. And as a loyalist to the Ming Dynasty, he did this self-portrait. You can see he was painted in ink, sitting in a painting as wearing the traditional Han scholar attires. And the landscape is red. In Chinese, 朱 is painted in cinnabar. Cinnabar is called 朱红. 朱 means cinnabar. Okay. The Ming Dynasty's last name or surname is Zhu. So the former dynasty is named Zhu Dynasty. Yeah, the emperor's name is Zhu. Zhu Yanzhang was the founder. Sure. Nanjing actually was the capital when he founded the Ming Dynasty. And later they moved to Beijing, the northern capital. But the dynasty, Ming Dynasty, also known as the Zhu Dynasty, Zhu's Dynasty, Cinnabar, the Cinnabar Dynasty.
So that's
correct.
what this means.
Yeah, he in his inscription. If you read the inscription poems, he said the landscape is still, belongs to the Jew. Jew.
So did he write
in his heart? In his mind, yeah. He did. We can read the inscription later with painting, but basically this is a political statement showing his both artistically beautiful and also in terms of integrity. Right. Of the artist who not just like the spirit of the pine, he always do try to maintain the character of as a scholar. So not to cooperate with the foreign barbarians, foreigners. So that's why this painting was done in red landscape or Zhu color landscape. A color always go with the dynasties. Like the Qing dynasty, first dynasty belongs to the black. The color is black, and the Han dynasty, maybe white or something like that. There's 5 colors, and in this case, the sound of Zhu is the same. Actually, the same character. The same character, not only the sound. The same character is Zhu means red.
Means red. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, Zhu is the last name of the former emperor. Yeah. So he's showing his very strong connection to the former dynasties. So this is very famous. I read this story in one of the research book I bought in 1983.
Oh, wow.
I just pulled it out. I carried it to the U.S.
Cool.
And I read that story, and the author didn't even see this painting.
Really?
It was a collector of a private collector in Taiwan. So he read that article. Probably not printed in color. He was just describing it, and I didn't see this painting until now, because this is really really amazing. It's
cool.
so unique. The idea, both the the artistic execution and the political implication of that. It's very beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah. So the Badashanyan lotus flower. This is one of the original I've never seen. So this is so speechless when I see this in person. The stems is so flexible and powerful at the same time. It's not, if you paint this yourself, you'll know how difficult it is to draw this kind of line. Yeah. Not perfectly straight, but still balanced very well. And the rock is kind of falling, but well balanced with the stem on the left side. And the flowers hidden in the leaf are so suggestive and contrast between the void, the white flower and the green leaves. The green leaves are done with a split brush. I think it's a quite big, soft brush. And the ink tones indicate the distance. Dark in the front and light on the back. On the atmosphere. Very abstract, with a lot of negative space. Typical Badashanyan. Let's see, this painting is done with color. Satin, it's kind of silk, and the color is so delicate. It's almost like done with the consistency of silk. Skim milk. It's not very heavy. It's very thin, fine, and the ink painting is almost like charcoal. Without much smearing and wet wash, but the whiteness, the unpainted part, makes you feel like clouds and the mountains are floating. These are so abstract. I think he's following Dong Qichang's the Southern School style. All kind of mind landscape, you will see. Yeah. This one also has a delicacy of color. I never seen colored Badashanyan landscape before, and they're very special. And this one too. Wow, it's very contemporary. And just the formation of the mountain, you can still see the dragon vein, and the rocks surround the big ones.
Another perspective. It's like this.
Right. It's the horizon is outside the frame, so it gives depth to the composition. Like a big river. Behind the mountains. I think the perspective is so different between the Eastern art, traditional Chinese painting, and contemporary. It's very important to learn from ancient perspective. I call it the second nature. You see through the ancient eyes or ancient artist's work.
You see another Badashanyan? It's so cute.
Right. The best, right?
Yeah.
This calligraphy looks like unsoaked. The glue bind not open yet. The brush looks like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I see.
It's
Like a
soft
pen.
brush.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably used an unopened new brush or the
looks like
hardened brush. So yeah, he used just the tip of the brush to paint without the
It's not open.
without using much of the hair, just the tip to write. So it's almost like a pen writing. And this fish is so abstract, it's so cute.
He looks smiling.
Yeah, he's famous with the white, what they call the pupil, what the pupil, expression of his attitude, angry attitude, or incooperative attitude. He always write his signature in as if read like to laugh at. To laugh at or to cry at. This one is a laugh. Sometimes he write the cry or to laugh. Depends on the first two stroke. If it's with that hook kind of thing, it's read as laugh. If it's down, just down, slant down without the corner, it's crying. So crying or laughing. Either way, he's trying to express that kind of attitude. It's very expressionistic, mentally express his feeling towards the current rulers or the dynasties.
That's pretty different, isn't it?
Well, this Shitao is composed of 12 panels, and each one is individually sealed and inscribed. So together is a whole picture of the whole wall. You have to look from a very far distance to see the whole painting. In the painting, you can see the whole bamboo from top to the crown, and the rocks are so typical of Shitao, with ink only, and there are waters behind the rock. There's three gentlemen here: bamboo, orchid, chrysanthemum, and also there are hibiscus behind the bamboo. Very, very impressed. And here we have seen a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 the small landscape paintings, either in color or ink. Each one is a unique creation of art, with very original. No copy of any masterpieces. Probably based on one of his trips. So there are mountains, rivers, temples or buildings. And this Huangshan is very interesting. I just came back from this area. In the inscription he said it's a recall of the 36 peaks of Huangshan. Of course he made it from his memory. And you can see the color in the sky is so misty with white clouds. Technique you won't see in his contemporary artists. Very modern to me, but he did that 400 years ago, almost. So he is ahead of his time, definitely. And it was very abstract in terms of the negative space, and the color is so realistic, and it's like the late autumn time when we were there about 2 weeks ago, and it's seen from the perspective of the Grand Canyon of the West Sea towards the Brightness Peak, and in the remote is the Lotus Peak, and so on. So they are very the essence of Wangshan, I would say. Very inspiring. And this little painting has a waterfall in the background, which come from the sky, and the hanging pine tree is almost like the Putuanshong, the prayers mat of a Buddhist monk. He used to do that with him sitting on the tree. That's very famous in Huangshan also. And this is very typical Shitao, his unique style of what we call the muddy strokes. He paints wet into wet and very misty. Okay, Wang Yuanqi is one of the four wangs of Qing dynasty. The four wangs of the academic school, which is ironically the opposite of this theme in the exhibition. They are the high-ranking officials in the court. Wang Lutai is his title. Yeah, actually. But his painting is very is known to modern artists, historian as the Chinese Monet. His art, his color, I think maybe his blocks of destructive decomposition and destruction. How do you call this? It's like the combination of color and the structure is very modern. It's like a Monet's painting. So he's known among Chinese art historians today as Chinese Monet. Yeah, he's abstract. His painting, as well as the other three wangs, are emphasized only on the ink and brushworks. Not much emotions anymore, but
It's very technical.
yeah, very technical, very technical. They appreciate the soul taste of the ink and the brushwork, which in the name of antiquarianism, they always say it's an imitation of ancient masters. So no more creativity, no more emphasis on plein air painting like Shitao, or no more inspiration from nature. No need. So just copy the mustard seed garden menu. That's all. So this looks like the colored version of the mustard seed garden menu of painting. Wang Yuanqi, Wang Shigu. This painting is done by Dong Qichang, the Orthodox school founder of Ming and the Qing dynasty. He was the person who proposed the theory of the southern and the northern style of landscape painting. He considered the Dongyuan, his ancestor, with the same family name as his, Dongyuan, in the Northern Song Dynasty, as the founder of this southern school. And his painting is characterized by the pima, or the long hemp fiber technique. And you can see many of the little stones on top of the big ones. It's called a fantou. Also, you might notice the chill, or the character of three dimension, what we talked about in our class. So he's very textbook style to learn for beginners in Chinese brush painting, and often seen in the manuals of Chinese brush painting, like the mustard. He's also a calligrapher, very very classic Wang Xizhi style, cursive style calligraphy. And I used to copy his standard cursive style copybook when I was very young. So he's one of my favorite artists. And this painting is done on gold. You can see the color in the book won't show this. The gold leaf, gold on the paper is very special, and with ink only, but feels so colorful. You can see all the tonality, the little mountains in the remote area. It feels very realistic, but there's no wash, just dry brush work. This artist's name is Shao Mi. It's not so famous, but well known in the Chinese art history. And this painting, these landscape are simply masterpieces. Hi Victoria, hi everybody.
Hello.
I'm with Austin Benson in Santa Barbara Museum of Art. We had a wonderful time, just browsed through the 55 pieces of treasure from various museums from LA, from Metropolitan, and from Taiwan in the 17th century, actually from the Ming Dynasty to Qing Dynasty, the turn of the Ming and Qing dynasties. We saw Bada Shanren and Shitao. Unfortunately, they don't let us photograph, so we'll get the book and share with you. If you like, you can buy the book online, I think. So here is the permanent collection section. So we do have a chance to meet you guys, to talk to you guys about this museum. If you live in the States, in California, you should come to this exhibition before January 20th. And it's just incredible. I couldn't imagine before I come to use Austin's words, overwhelmed feeling of the art. So I will come back before the Chinese New Year. And maybe see you again next time. So I'd like to invite you here. If you do come, just drop by to our home, 1 hour, actually 2 hours away from here. So make a trip together. We have a workshop, by the way, in early January, from 7th to the 5 days, the 12th, 7th to the 12th in January. So if you come to the workshop, I'll come with you here and be your guide. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.